Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Chelsea, and if you're new around here would like to do beauty related content on this channel, if that's something that you like, then please hit subscribe, and if you're already subscribed then please click on the little bell and you'll be notified of every time that I upload. So in today's video we're going to start off this little mini series that I've got going on with the Money Shot palette by p.louise. This has been out for a couple of weeks, but if you saw in my unboxing beauty box videos, you know that I received this palette in the July beauty box. What is it called? The July budget box. So I actually got this for £30, which included other items. This product is on the website for £47, and I believe if you shop on TikTok Shop, then I'm pretty sure that's for UK customers only though. So it's £42, so you get £5 off on TikTok Shop. However, there are bundles that they've got which includes the Money Shot palette and 5 brushes for £30. That's a p.louise and Carriad large makeup bundle. And there's also another one as well which has got this palette and the 2 stacker palettes that was launched with this collection for £40. So you get all 3 palettes for £40, and that is on the TikTok Shop. So yeah, if you want to see how I created this look, hear about this palette, and also hear my thoughts at the very end, then please stay tuned. So this palette is a pressed pigment palette. Oh my god. And I'm just going to show you. So this is what the packaging looks like, and as you can see the little money things shake around. So this isn't a very travel friendly palette. It's quite big and bulky, but that is standard for the p.louise. However, I do like that little stamp thing there that you use to open up the product. You get so many shades in this palette, and there's such a variety as well. So it says a double draw 42 eyeshadow pan palette, less count and change, more counting blessings. So it's 42 eyeshadow pans of rich green tones, from light reflective shimmers to deliciously deep mattes. This palette will have you feeling like you've hit the jackpot. Time to start developing from the negatives, babe. Adjust the focus on what's important, fire off a few rounds of hustle, and take that money shot. The more you learn, the more you earn. I actually quite like that. Yes, like I say, it's 42 eyeshadows, and then they're split into 2 sections, 2 palettes. I love these double draw palettes. They're actually my favourites. But in the first side you've got this, which is more of your greens, rich green shades, like a few tealy kind of shades, bright greens. Yeah, any sort of greens that you want, they're here. But that's not all. Then you've got, which is my favourite side, the drawer that pulls out, and then you've got the olivey sides. So you've got the olivey, grungy, mustard tones with like cool toned browns, and this is the side of the palette that we've used today for this soft spotlight eye. I actually really like how this has turned out, but I'm just going to swatch a few of these shimmers. I'm not going to swatch the whole palette for you because I'll just be here for ages. So I'm just going to swatch these buttery shimmers because they are just insane in the membrane. I mean, come on. Like, this one is foiled. They're just insane. Look how reflective they are. I can't even cope with how pretty they are. That's like a duochrome one here. It goes from like green to gold. You've got a true gold here, like that actually looks like Tin Man. And then you've got some foresty greens and like yellowy golds. But yeah, absolutely beautiful shimmers. p.louise shimmers are my favourite. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I absolutely love them so much. If I'm doing someone's makeup, I'll always dip into the p.louise shimmers because I just feel like that they're the most foiled, and you're going to get the most out of them as well. And this is going to be the first video of many. I'm going to do a few more videos, a few different looks. I've got a few ideas, but I just wanted to start off with a very wearable yet grungy look, because a palette this big can be so overwhelming, especially when it's a monochrome palette. Where do I start? Where do I look? So yeah, I want to do this wearable look. This is something that I would wear if I was to go out and I wanted to incorporate green. But yeah, this palette's going to be very good for somebody who actually wears green eyeshadow. If you don't wear green eyeshadow, this isn't going to be a palette for you. You're probably better off getting the small stack 'em up palettes, because one of them was a green. There's a lot less eyeshadows, it's a lot cheaper, and then obviously you can test the water. If you like to incorporate a lot of greeny looks, then obviously this palette will be great for that. So yeah, enough of me gassing, and let's get into the first eye look. So I've done this eye off camera, and I think I'm happy with it, to be fair. Those sort of shades that I do find a little bit harder to blend, like the grungier shades, because it just goes like quite muddy quite quickly with like mustards and olives and that, I think. But so far so good. So like I say, we're using this bit of the palette, so the bottom of the palette, for these grungy tones, because I really want to do like a wearable grungy look, because that's the inspo I had when I first saw this palette. It was very much giving me Melt Gemini vibes, and I love that. So first of all, I'm just going to take my p.louise 7072 brush, so just a flat brush, and a bit of the base, which I've got on a palette. I've already carved out my brow, but I'm just going to pop this all over to my lid. And I make sure I'm going to bring it out and also bring it under as well, because we're going to do like the full eye before we do lips and face and stuff like that. Then as usual, I'm just going to take my cheap eBay brush, fluffy brush, any big fluffy brush will do, and just pat in, making sure that there's no residue and it's all seamlessly blended into the skin as well, so then it's easier for when we do the rest of our face makeup. So we're all based, and now this is just a very quick look, which is what I wanted to start off with. So we're going to go in with Making Paper and Break a Leg, so these two shades here, and I'm just going to take a large fluffy brush, so this is a p.louise 121 brush, and I'm just going to dip back and forth into them, and then I'm just going to work that into the crease. Just dusting that over, and keep going back into your pans. Oh, roll on winter and autumn when it starts getting colder, because it's just too hot. It's so hot to just even wear makeup at the moment. I just don't really wear makeup when it's this hot, and I don't remember it being this hot like last year, but I just really struggle to film when it's so hot. I just want to lie in my bed where it's cool, because this room is literally boiling. Next, I'm just going down to a slightly smaller but more of a tapered brush. So this is a p.louise 198, and then I'm going to go into 4K. So this shade here, I like the fact I can just take this out and just hold it like this. And I'm just going to darken up the outer edges and also in the crease as well. And then I'm just going to go back in with my large fluffy brush and just make sure those edges are blended. Now I'm going to go in with Motion Picture, so this army green here, and I'm just going to use a p.louise, I don't know what this brush is called, but basically just a small, well, quite a long haired but small blending brush, if that makes sense. I'm just really lightly dusting that green just to introduce a bit more green rather than mustardy tones. And then I'm going to take a mixture of Life is a Movie, Director, and a little bit of Nomination, so all three, on a small blending brush. So this is a p.louise 124, and I'm just dab. And I'm just putting this just on the outer. I'm not going to add it up the top, but I'm just doing a slightly diagonal motion. Okay, looking a bit crazy, but it's alright, we're going to blend it out. I'm just going to take that smaller blending brush and just blend around these edges here and just soften them. So then I'm going to use my p.louise 7071 brush with a little bit of the base, just a tiny wincy bit, and I'm just going to pop that on there. And then I'm just going to use a flat-headed brush just to blend it out. Just tapping it in, just so then our shimmers have got something to stick to. So first of all, the shimmers in here are beautiful. p.louise shimmers are my favourite kind of shimmers because they're the ones that actually have that metallic-y look to them. So I'm going to first of all go in with Real Love. So this is kind of like a duochrome shade. It's like green to gold, and I'm just going to pat that on the centre of my lid like so. We're just going to try and use a few of the shimmers, and then I'm going to use a bit of Script. So this is like a pure gold, and look how foiled that is. It's insane. So again, I'm just tapping it on. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. And then I'm also going to use a bit of Backstage. So this really pale shade here is very cushioned, but just look at that. It's just insane. And I'm just putting that through the middle. So I just really want a bright pop-in centerpiece. So now I've put that through the middle, I'm just going to use my large fluffy brush and just blend around the edges. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Made by Mitchell All Smudge No Budge in Tiger's Eye pencil. You can see how much I absolutely love these pencils. And I'm just going to smudge that along my lash line. Because one thing this palette is missing is a black. I don't know why it doesn't have one. And then I'm just going to take a very small flat brush. So this is a p.louise 122 brush. And I'm just going to smudge that pencil in. I feel like when you've got a monochrome palette, you need a black. And then I'm going to go back into that nomination shade, to the darkest brown. It's like a cool tone brown. And just pattern that on to where I've used the pencil. And then I'm going to use the pencil on my lower lash line, in my waterline. And we're going to use that same tiny brush and just smudge that in a bit more as well. With that bit of nomination. And then we're going to go in with that green shade, so the army green, so that motion picture. And then just with our large fluffy brush and those two light shades. And then we're going to pop a little bit of script. Because it's such a pigmented shade. And then I'm also going to pop a bit of Memories. So this shade here, this very pale yellowy green shade, just on my brow bone. And then with a pencil brush, we're going to go into Ballin'. So this beautiful bright gold shade, and that's going to go on that inner corner. Okay, so that's that all done. I think I'm going to add a bit of Made by Mitchell Drip Drip just to the very centres of the lid as just like a little something. So I'm just going to swipe a little bit on the back of my hand. So this is like a silvery shade. And just with a flat-headed brush, I'm going to pick some up and just tap. Go straight on the lid actually. Oh yeah, love that. Okay, so I'm just going to go and do the rest of my face, put on my lashes, and then we'll come back for the finished look. And trust me, this is a trust the process moment, but it will look good when we're finished. So this is the finished look. Let me know down below what you think. Yeah, overall, I actually really do like how this has turned out. If you're wondering what I'm using on my lips, I use the Huda Beauty Joyride lipstick, topped with a little bit of the p.louise Can't Resist and the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Cookie Butter. And oh, I'll tell you what, my face is absolutely sweating. But yeah, so this is the grungy look that I wanted to do with this side of the palette. And yeah, I really did enjoy using it. The shimmer shades are to die for. If you haven't tried p.louise shimmers, then really do try them because they are the best. The shadows, they're the sort of shades that I struggle with a little bit. However, they're the shades that I'm drawn to, so it's a vicious circle. But yeah, they're very pigmented, they're blended well, and the shade range in here is absolutely amazing. Really good value for money as well with both the palettes, but this was the side that I was drawn to the most and that I would use the most. It's the most wearable side for me, in my opinion anyway. And yeah, I love how this look turned out. I'd wear this out, this kind of like grungy greeny makeup with that shimmer shades in the middle, like a little soft spotlight eye. But yeah, definitely would recommend if these shades are up your street. Let me know down below what you think of this look, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit subscribe, and hopefully I shall see you in my next video. Bye!